You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
All set for your flight?
Yep, I've got everything I need. Eye mask, neck pillow, T-Mobile, headphones.
Wait, T-Mobile?
You bet. Free in-flight Wi-Fi. 15% off all Hilton brands. I never go anywhere without T-Mobile. Same goes for my water bottle, chewing gum, nail clippers,
okay,
passport.
I'm gonna leave you to it.
Find out how you can experience travel better at T-Mobile.com/travel.
Qualifying plan required. Wi-Fi were available on select U.S. airlines. Deposit and Hilton Honors membership required for 15% discount. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome to From Beneath the Hollywood Sign. If you love old movies, Hollywood history, or the golden age of filmmaking, you've come to the right place. This is the podcast that talks about amazing stories of Tinseltown from another era and fascinating conversations with writer-producer Steve Cubine and actress-writer Nan McNamara.
So, Steve, did Ava Gardner and Howard Hughes have a good relationship?
Well, they did until he dislocated her jaw.
What?
Well, don't worry. She hit him back with an ashtray.
From Beneath the Hollywood Sign is the gin joint for you.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Jeff. I will not be your host today, but joining me in the studio are Neal, Ken, and Matt. How are you gentlemen doing?
That was a very sultry open.
I was going to say, you put a little more bass in it today. I like it.
Very nice.
Very crisp.
Yeah. I think it's the mics. I don't know what I'm doing, but it sounds great.
Audio engineer. Wonderful job, guys.
So I'm glad we're all doing well. I will cut right to the chase. We have a guest host. You will remember her from a recent episode. Funny enough, at the time of recording, this episode's going up tomorrow. One of our recent favorites, and that's Stacey McPeek. How you doing, Stacey?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Excited to try to put you guys through the ringer here a little bit.
Yes, thank you for writing these questions for us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you haven't been asked them yet. You probably shouldn't thank me.
No, any question that I haven't written is a good one for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, thank you for being a United States champion on Patreon. We really appreciate it.
I thought that was kind of an irony.
It is kind of funny.
What?
Being from Canada.
Oh, well, she's our Canadian champion then.
Yeah.
We'll just change it. Canadian champion. And you did tell us before the recording started that you're a little under the weather, so you're going to be pushing through with all these great questions today.
I am going to push through, but if I sound nasally and weird, that's why.
Well, it is sponsored by Mucinex today.
It is not sponsored by Mucinex. But if they want to, hey.
Yeah, our inbox is open. trivialitypodcast@gmail.com.
As long as they don't send us like plush toys with those little weird
I want more
men.
of those. I'd rather have that.
I would just love that there's someone at Mucinex that just listens to random podcasts, seeing if they drop their name, being like, let's send them money.
That's their only job. They're in a basement and they have to listen to all the different podcasts.
But you know who never needs any Mucinex whatsoever? The rules guy.
He does not. Let's see how he's sounding today.
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
He sounds well.
He sounds like he's on a heavy IV of Sudafed, just crystal clear, no mucus. Also brought to you by Sudafed
We
today.
sent him some airborne recently, so he should be doing fine.
Darren needs to send us an email and let us know how he's doing.
Because I'm sure he listens to this.
Yeah, probably.
And if you need to put Morse code in there, if you're in trouble, we'll figure it out.
Well, I think me and Neal are going to team up today. Isn't that right?
Yep, that sounds good to me.
What do you want the team name to be?
Team name for today. Well, it's almost Thanksgiving here in Chicago, so how about we be the Tofurkeys?
The Tofurkeys? All right, that sounds good.
Yeah, Jeff was saying that he's a little slow today, and I recently shaved my head, so we're going to be the tortoise and no hair.
All right, sounds good.
All right.
It's pretty great. All right, we are ready to get started whenever you are.
So, round 1, question 1. Category is, let's mix these together and see what happens. Although the original Chinese alchemists were seeking to find the elixir of life, what would you get if you mixed sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate?
Oh, we're locked in.
Oh, I knew it.
I thought it was going to be a drinks question. That's why I kept pointing to you.
Is it ketchup, Jeff?
Yeah, we had a ketchup. Was that vinegar and fish sauce?
Fish brine.
I just said, Jeff, if I have to listen to you somewhat mispronounce the word ketchup one more time during this trivia question, I'm going to blow my brains out.
Ketchup?
Well, they're locked in. My first thought is
charcoal
is
and
fireworks, maybe?
It turns out to be a false threat.
Charcoal and what?
Sulfur, charcoal, and potassium nitrate.
Because the Chinese were known for their sort of, I don't know about the invention of fireworks, but their...
gunpowder.
Oh, gunpowder too, yeah.
Let's say gunpowder.
Gunpowder? Okay.
Yeah.
What did we say, Jeff?
Gunpowder.
Hey, we said gunpowder.
And conveniently, a good one to start off with it is gunpowder.
All right.
Nice.
Off with a bang.
Feeling.
Boo.
You know, I could just be cheating off this strategy card that we just got in the mail, but I think it's for blackjack.
Yeah.
And not for trivia.
Yes.
Isn't that right?
Yeah, but I think it's applicable, so.
Well, if you ask to double down on one of these, we'll know that you're cheating.
Well, hey, if we're playing blackjack, though, that means Stacey is going to win because the house always wins.
Yeah, and we have to thank Gina Kiminoff for these great pamphlets.
All right, should we move on to question number 2?
Mm-hmm.
Please.
All right, category is roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. In the Back to the Future movie trilogy, Doc Brown names his dogs after which 2 notable men of science? One is known for his mass energy equivalence formula, and the other for the heliocentric model of the universe.
Oh, we're locked in.
Yeah. I knew one of them based on Back to the Future, and I probably would have eventually got the other one.
You're locked in, you said?
Yeah, we're locked in.
One's Einstein for sure.
Yeah.
That's his main one. I'm trying to think who is.
The heliocentric model for the universe, I think, would be Galileo.
Okay.
I don't remember a second dog, though.
Not Copernicus, right? That's the math guy.
Oh, that might be Copernicus. He's got a dog in the 50s, right?
Yes.
So it would be a different dog than in the 80s.
Yeah, the 80s he's got Einstein.
That dog would not last that long.
Yeah, who would they have studied in the 50s?
It might be Copernicus. Let's go Copernicus.
Okay, and Einstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, tragically, it's 30 years between the 2 films, and if you're 30 years old, you're probably older than every dog on Earth. Yeah, I hoped you wouldn't get it, but it's Copernicus and Einstein.
Yes, it is Einstein and Copernicus. And apparently there was also a dog in the comics named Galileo. And in the movie, it's not mentioned ever, but if you see in his horses, they have names. I think they're Galileo, Archimedes, and Newton.
What a nerd.
So just
he needs to develop some other interests.
Yeah, I'm saying.
I love Doc Brown. I mean, if you can come up with the idea for the flux capacitor on the toilet, you can do anything.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just spitballing here. I think Einstein actually died in 55. So that's interesting. His first dog was Copernicus, and then the later was Einstein.
That
but Einstein
is
would have been
interesting,
famous.
Jeff. Thank you for that factoid.
But
next question.
All right, moving on. Question number 3 in Sports Go Sports, or as I like to say, Stacey tries to write a real sports question.
Yay.
What retired player and now sportscaster, whose real first name is Norman, holds several NFL records for left-handed quarterbacks, including most touchdown passes, most passing yards, and most completions?
Neal gave me a nod here, so we're locked in.
I don't know that would be his name, but the person who's left-handed and has all of those, I believe, is Dan Marino. So we can lock in with Dan Marino, I guess.
I believe Dan Marino's right-handed, isn't he?
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's
which
Fran
hand does he
Tarkenton.
put the isotoners on?
Well, yeah, true. Or I was going to say, which hand did he assist Ace Ventura and saving Snowflake? So the only left-handed quarterback I could think of was someone I used to have a figure of, and that was Boomer Esiason.
That makes a lot of sense.
And the answer is Boomer Esiason.
And he is a sports man. I blew that one pretty bad.
CBS, I think.
Yeah, he is on CBS.
That question has gone through a few iterations. I asked it initially without any sort of additional stuff, just who did this, and I can't remember. One of my friends was like, you need to say this. You need to say sportscaster. I was like, okay. And then Ryan Clefcorn-Myers was like, you need to give a little bit more. I'm like, okay, fine.
You mean Ryan Candy Corn Myers?
Wait, so if we called him Ryan Candy Corn Myers on the Halloween episode, this is kind of the Thanksgiving episode because it's almost Thanksgiving. So what?
Ryan Cornucopia Myers?
Yeah, there you go. Ryan Cornucopia Myers.
This episode's coming out in February.
That's all right. He'll enjoy the reference.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to question number 4. Category is turn to the left, turn to the right. In 1948, Uwe and Jochen Holy, and I can spell that if that would help.
Yes, thank you.
UWE is the first name, and then Jochen, Jochen, Holy, HOLY. grandsons of the company's founder, took which company from a work clothes and uniform maker to a premier men's wear fashion house?
I can tell you which ones it's not.
Oh, write down ones it's not.
Is Jochen the guy from the Men's Warehouse commercials who guarantees that you'll like the way you look with the beard?
It could be.
That's as upscale as it comes. Did you lock in?
Yeah, we're locked in, yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about North Face and Patagonia right now. And I think those are more recent too.
They're still not as...
Yeah.
I mean, the name sounds Dutch, Danish, Scandinavian.
What if we just said, isn't Dutch Boy a brand of jeans that used to...
It's a brand of paints.
I know it's paints, but I believe that there's
You
overalls.
can't afford my jeans.
I'm teeing it up for you.
I do not play golf.
You want to just go with Levi Strauss?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Strauss, yeah.
We're locked in
Sure.
with that.
Yeah, I was thinking of Levi. That was one of my guesses. And then Calvin, I wrote down just, off the top of mind, Calvin Klein, Hilfiger, Giorgio Armani, but I believe those are all actual people, or at least that Armani is and Calvin Klein. The one clothing company I knew that was kind of prevalent in Germany, which I'm not saying this name is German, but it's the only one that came to my head, was Hugo Boss, which I believe the company designed uniforms for the Third Reich, but that was the closest I could get, so we went Hugo Boss.
Yeah, well, you picked up all the little breadcrumbs. The name is German, yeah, and he did do uniforms, which is for the Nazis. It is Hugo Boss.
Oh, wow.
Neal.
We had that written down. I did not know he was German.
You drinking coffee?
I'm drinking coffee, yep. Yep, I've been up since 4, but I'm ready to go.
Got some of that coconut oil mixed in there for the...
Little HGH.
Whatever.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Your brain's firing?
It's firing.
We're not sponsored by Bulletproof either.
Bulletproof's a pat of butter.
All right, moving on. Question number 5. I'm feeling fenced in. The longest fence in the world is 5,614 kilometers, or 3,488 miles, and weaves across southern Australia. It was created to protect the sheep flocks of southern Queensland from what pest?
We're locked in.
Do you think it's the dingoes that eat their babies?
I'm trying to remember. We released something there that wasn't domestic. I know they had a big frog problem.
Is it rabbits? Wasn't there a rabbit issue?
There was definitely a rabbit issue.
But it's protecting the flock, so I think it's...
I mean, it could, if they're like eating all the food or whatever, and they have nothing to graze on. But, I mean, dingoes... Tasmanian devils? I mean, I don't know how...
That's only on... Isn't that just on
in
the
Tasmania?
island of Tasmania?
Yeah, those might be isolated. Could be dingoes.
Yeah.
Preying on sheep. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're locking in with dingo.
I might have shot too soon here, but there is a movie called Rabbit Proof Fence, and I figured if they needed a fence that was an animal proof, a rabbit made sense, so we went with rabbit.
So there is a rabbit-proof fence in Australia, but there is an even larger fence in Australia for dingoes.
All right.
Yeah.
The dingo-proof fence.
Dingo-proof fence.
It's got smaller grate holes.
Yeah, it's coming. This year's Oscar-nominated film, Dingo-proof fence.
What's that line from Kevin in the Office? The one with dingo babies? I'm trying to remember. Oh, he's trying to pretend he's Australian.
Yeah,
that's like from three. That's 3 things removed from what it's actually from.
From Seinfeld.
Yeah, Kevin's referencing Seinfeld, which was referencing a real movie.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
For a dingo.
Yeah.
He just says like alligators and dingo babies.
Yeah, I think it's referencing which film is it? It's with Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep, yeah.
It's like a 1987 or 8 movie.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
You call this a fence? So yeah, after 5 questions, Team Tofurkeys has 40 points, and what about Team Tortoise and No Hair?
40.
All right.
No, wait.
30.
30.
I was
40 to 30.
All right, question number 6. Is the fat lady singing yet? The Rheingold, the Valkyrie, Siegfried, and Twilight of the Gods are 4 operas based loosely on Norse mythological characters. Collectively, the operas are known as what?
I know who did them.
Yep.
So when I get anxious, I listen to the classical station in my car, and the guy on the radio's like, "So coming up next, we have Richard Wagner coming at you with another stretch from his blah blah blah," and he said the name of whatever this was, and I'm just can't think of it. But I love that guy's voice.
Yeah.
I like how they say Richard Wagner.
I'm confusing this with I can't remember the composer, but the planets. I was confused. Holst, yeah, Gustav Holst. I always confuse it with that.
So we're talking about Norse mythology here.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Asgard, Yggdrasil,
Thor's Day,
Midgard,
Rainbow Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You're just saying stuff from Marvel, aren't you?
Loki,
yeah, let me think. So, Valkyrie, Rheingold.
So they're all based on Norse mythology. They're by Richard Wagner.
What about Valhalla? What could that be named for? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of other words.
Could be.
Like legitimate words, though, for you.
Real words.
It wouldn't be Ragnarok. I know the movie's called that, but I know that's a more Norse mythology thing. But
it is, yeah. Let's say the Battle of Midgard.
Battle of Midgard. Okay.
Sounds better. We said, "Thus spoke Zarathustra."
Okay.
So it's more known as a cycle, and it's based on a lot of the similar things that I believe Lord of the Rings got inspired from. It's just called the ring cycle.
That's right.
Oh.
Ooh, none of us were close at all.
Yeah. It lasts about 15 hours if you do all four, but usually it's done over several days.
Just like the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like the idiom, like, "It ain't over till the fat lady sings," and that whole like depiction of a big woman with the hat, that's these ones. That's Brunhilde singing usually her final opera in the Götterdämmerung, which is about 20 minutes long.
Oh, Brunhilde, that's right.
Yeah.
Does the ring cycle come before the delicate cycle? That's a bad laundry joke. I don't even know the laundry term. I just turn it to where it needs to go.
Neal,
I don't read anything.
I've never once in my life heard a good laundry joke, so I think you're forgiven.
Well, that's all right. I appreciate that you guys let me air out my dirty laundry there. So
that's not what that means.
That was a little better.
Yeah, I'm going to call Don Henley and complain, though.
Okay, question number 7. Category is Wanna Park. What playground staple gets its name from the anglicization of the French words for this and that?
Neal?
Yeah, we're in.
Does this say teeter-totter?
I was writing down teeter-totter. Could it be anything else?
I suppose it could, but not that I don't think so.
Okay. Teeter-totter it is.
Could be seesaw, too, but Neal wrote down...
well, we wrote down seesaw because when comme ci, comme ça, that's what I wrote down, so seesaw.
Yeah, so the correct answer is seesaw, and I think because I don't think teeter-totter can be traced back to this and that.
That's fair.
Could it, though?
Except teeter-totter.
That was my favorite response in French class. They would say bien, or how you doing, or whatever, and I would say comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ci, comme ça.
You didn't want to take a side.
I didn't want to. I just like to stay right in the middle.
Okay. Question number 8. Categories, because it's rude to call them groupies. What music artist refers to their fan base as Care Bears?
I'm just writing this one down just for the name, but I don't think it's right, so I'm still thinking. But
do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I have some thoughts.
I wrote down this name first, but just because of the name, but I don't think it makes sense.
Yeah, let's go with that second one.
The second one?
Yeah, we're locked in.
Okay.
Yeah, my immediate thought was obviously just for the name, like Carrie Underwood.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's right, though.
I mean, I don't think so either, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, is there a group that's known specifically for caring or some kind of Care Bear fandom?
No.
You're not going to find any caring on this side of the table over there.
I mean,
loves a lot.
If you know the right answer, sharing is caring. So.
Well, Carrie Underwood at least has care in it, so we can go with that if you'd like.
Okay, we'll go with Carrie Underwood.
So we wrote Carrie Underwood down. That was the first one, just based on the name. And then Ken came in with a great point. He said, maybe the word groupies it could mean like a band instead of a single performer. So I just remember, I know they're called Deadheads most of the time, but I know that Grateful Dead has many, many T-shirts of bears dancing around with like various logos on their chest. So we said the Grateful Dead.
Well, I feel bad because I think I may have led people astray. The answer is Carrie Underwood.
Uh-huh. It was
yeah,
easy.
She got it when she was on whatever season of American Idol she was on, and it stuck.
Well, that's all right. We wrote it down. We thought of it. We just thought too hard.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 9. Would you like to play a game? When James Robert Ringrose, then one of the FBI's 10 most wanted, was arrested in 1967 for attempting to pass bad checks, he told the FBI agents that he had been saving an item for several years and now he needed it. He then presented them with what board game element?
Are we agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, we're locked in. I can't help but think, sorry, I just thought it was funny, that he just brings like a trouble box and it just says it's fun getting into trouble. He's just so smug.
A piece from Sorry.
The entire mousetrap board.
Her clue, though, about he's been saving something.
I don't think she said saving.
Yeah, she did.
Storing? I don't know what it was.
Yeah, he has been saving an item for several years.
I listen.
And now he needed it.
Wasn't saying you didn't. I misheard.
What would he be saving?
I don't know. Thimble from Monopoly.
Draw 4.
He doesn't seem like a stable man.
Draw 4.
Reverse.
Yeah. The only I could think it would be like food from like Easy Bake Oven or something weird. But yeah, I mean a Monopoly piece. Can we just say Monopoly piece, or do you think that's not specific enough?
Piece. Thimble.
Thimble? Okay. We're locked in with Thimble.
We think you're in the right game, but I think it'd be a little cheeky if he had a get out of jail free card.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it absolutely was more cheeky for him to have a get out of jail free card.
Did it work?
Presume it didn't.
The cops are just like, dang it.
He's got us.
A little known loophole.
All right, moving on to question number 10. Ryan, question alert. A group of us play each other's games every week, and Ryan, again, what is his name? Cornucopia Myers?
Yep.
Loves these kind of questions, so this is in honor of him. What 9-letter I word means proceeding in a gradual, subtle way, but with harmful effects?
That's a 9-letter word.
We're locked in.
Starts with an I.
So starts with an I. Yeah, he loves the vocab questions. We're not great at them.
You're not.
I'm not.
I'm usually
What's the
pretty
name of that movie based on the books with Shailene Woodley? There's 3 of them. One of them I think starts with an I. I'm just thinking of movie titles. Insurgent. That is 9.
I don't think it means that, but
figured if it was a 9-letter I word, it sounds like it could be a movie title. So.
Okay, let's do it. Let's go Insurgent.
You guys have been so close these last 2. Jeff, what did you say?
We think it's Insidious.
Oh, yeah.
The correct answer is Insidious.
Yeah, is a movie title.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying not to show anything when you said it, because I was like, don't think of movies.
Well, we started off strong. So Team Tofurkey's started with 50, or ending the first round with 50.
We're a little streak at the end there, and we are up to 60.
Oh,
good job, guys.
Yeah, taking the lead.
You guys are going down, etc. That's my trash talk for today.
Wow.
I know, it's pretty
I mean,
intense.
I don't talk trash.
Matt,
I talk
you, dude.
Oh, my word.
I never.
So, Stacey, you said that you had been traveling recently before we started. So, where have been your favorite places?
Well, I guess probably my favorite would be the most interesting place I went, which was New Orleans. I just got back from last week.
Nice.
Awesome.
New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans, or however you're supposed to say it. I was there for the roller derby world championships. So
sweet.
Watching lots of roller derby and then hanging out with my friends and doing things that you do in New Orleans.
So did you have some beignets and such in New Orleans?
Yeah, we had beignets, lots of good beer, lots of really good food.
They have like just great food there.
Yeah, even the crappy places that you could tell weren't like good were still really good.
Well, it sounded like we had a good segue into the swing round for a second there before Neal started talking about pastries, as he often does. And I don't blame him because pastries are delicious. So let's get into that swing round.
But yeah, so my swing round is going to be a mix of obscure sport knowledge and geography. So many roller derby team names take their name from something associated with that city. So I will give you 10 names of either roller derby roller derby leagues or teams, and I want you to name the city in which they play. All the cities are in the U.S., and you'll get 5 points per answer.
Perfect. Cool.
All right. So number 1, Rose City Rollers. Number 2, Gotham Girls Roller Derby. Number 3, Mile High Club. Number 4, Arch Rival Roller Derby. Number 5, Texecutioners.
Cool.
Number 6, Angel City Derby. Number 7, Rat City Roller Derby. Number 8, Windy City Rollers. Number 9, Pissed Offs. And number 10, Charm City Roller Girls. I'm going to read them one more time. Rose City Rollers. Number 2, Gotham Girls Roller Derby. Number 3, Mile High Club. Number 4, Arch Rival Roller Derby. Number 5, Texecutioners. Number 6, Angel City Derby. Number 7, Rat City Roller Derby. Number 8, Windy City Rollers. Number 9, Pissed Offs. And number 10, Charm City Roller Girls.
Number 9 you said is Pissed Offs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pistoffs.
Oh, okay.
Like Biscoff.
Yeah.
Another pastry. Okay.
Are we just all hungry?
Yeah.
Is that what's going on?
All right, well, we're going to ponder these, and we'll be right back. We are all good.
All right. So number 1, Rose City Rollers. What did you guys say?
Matt once told me, I think at a trivia night, something about Portland, and it just stuck with me. So we went with Portland.
Yeah, I believe that's Portland.
It is.
That's why Derek Rose plays for the Trailblazers, right?
Yep, that is not correct.
He's on the Timberwolves, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Timberwolves.
His knee plays for what? Oh, I had a good joke and I lost it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It is not your night.
He had a good knee and he lost it, so that happens.
When we were in Portland, though, they have so many nicknames. They were like the Beer City, Rip City, Rose City. I was like Bear City. I was like, you guys need fewer nicknames.
Yeah.
Curly Mustache City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy. Number 2, what did you guys put?
Ken and I just figured, Gotham, even though they filmed a lot of the Batman movies here in Chicago, Gotham is normally reserved for New York. So we said New York.
I actually looked up the origin of Gotham once, and it does have huge roots in New York.
And New York City is correct. Number 3, Mile High Club.
This would make sense for me to be from Mile High Stadium in Denver.
And we're also going to join Matt in his Mile High salute and say Denver.
Denver is correct. Number 4, Arch Rival Roller Derby.
Yeah, this one, Ken, what was the first one you said? I forget.
I said maybe like what is it, Minneapolis Twins?
Oh, you're right, the Twins.
But then you cleverly said, what about the St. Louis Arch? So, St. Louis.
There was a really bad Nintendo game called Arch Rival Basketball. It had nothing to do with anything, but the answer is St. Louis.
Yes, I think the answer is St. Louis. Now one that I imagine won't be as easy as the other ones. Number 5, Texecutioners.
Yeah, this one Ken and I talked about for a long time. We figured with the name Tex that it was in Texas, and there's so many big cities in Texas, and we were trying to think of what city would embrace roller derby more than the others, and we know that Austin likes to get weird and is open about everything, so we said Austin, Texas.
And we had the exact same line of reasoning and went with Austin.
I don't think we chose weird as our descriptor, but
cool.
Well, that's their slogan. Austin is weird.
Yeah, keep Austin weird.
I keep Austin weird.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
And then Portland found out about it, and also
they also want to be weird.
Weird as well.
They wanted more nicknames.
Weird City.
Yeah, Weird City.
We're all weird down here.
Anyway, Texecutioners, you guys did get the right line of reasoning. It is my favorite team, and they are from Austin.
Awesome. Glad we talked that one out.
Number 6, Angel City Derby.
So the City of Angels is Los Angeles.
It's not quite the city I live in, but yeah, we said Los Angeles.
Perfect, yep. Los Angeles is correct. Number 7, Rat City Roller Derby.
We had trouble with this one. We thought of immediately with rats, being attributed to New York.
Even though Chicago is actually the rattiest city now.
I believe it is. Yeah, you're right.
Take that,
anywhere
New
you
York.
are.
Second city, no way.
So we were thinking like New York, New Jersey, that East Coast area, but we just said maybe there's 2 New York City teams, and so we went New York City.
Let me explain something. New Jersey is actively trying to get rid of its rat problem.
Is Chris Christie still there?
But all credit to Matt on this one. I think this is a genius answer, and if it's right, I'm very, very pleased. So what was our answer, Matt?
I thought it was in Florida, and then I said, well, I'm just going to go with Orlando, and that makes sense if Mickey Mouse is there, that they're Rat City, so we said Orlando.
Oh, I wish that was the right answer, because that's a way better logic than what it is. It is actually in Seattle. Apparently there's an area of Seattle that's called the RAT.
Okay.
That's where they took it from.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Poor man's Portland, if you ask me.
Should have been the
I love
Emeralds or
Seattle.
something. The Emerald something, right?
Yeah, Emerald City.
Emerald City Rollers or
something.
Or the Kraken.
All right. Number 8, a tough one for you guys. Windy City Rollers.
Mm-hmm.
This one we really him and hawed back and forth.
I heard you were blustering. You just went on and on about it.
Pretty sure I know some Windy City Rollers personally.
I knew one, and they're named the Windy City Rollers because of all their divisive politics. So we went Chicago.
The Rollers, Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's correct. I debated including it, but I couldn't find one that seemed to.
I got to give us
a
one
hint.
gimme.
Yeah,
got to give you one gimme. Yeah.
But our listeners play too, so that one was for the listeners.
That's fair. All right, question number 9. Pissed offs.
Yeah, due to the spelling of pissed, which was like P-I-S-T, we thought maybe it's Pittsburgh.
I think that the opposite of a pissed off would be a pissed on, which would be from Detroit.
Ooh.
And that is the right logic.
Dang.
It is from Detroit.
Yes, don't piss off my leg and call it rain, said Judge Judy.
All right, and question number 10. Charm City Roller Girls.
Charm City. Ken and I just immediately both
burst out singing and good morning,
Baltimore. Yeah, we said Baltimore.
This comes up a lot for some reason.
Yeah, it's because we talk about The Wire
quite
a bit.
Yeah, Charm City, Baltimore.
Yeah, that is correct.
Now, while we're tabulating scores, we're all casual enjoyers of roller derby. We don't know a lot about it, but especially for the listeners who don't know anything about it, are there certain terms you can tell us, or just like sort of the basic rules of how it works if you watch a roller derby match?
What is a jammer?
A jammer is the person on the team who wears a star on their helmet, or a star like cover on their helmet. And they are the only person who can actually score points. And then everyone else, so each team has a jammer on the track, and then you have 4 blockers. The blockers are trying to stop the opposing jammer from getting through. So they get through on the first pass, and then every time they pass someone after that, it's 1 point for every person that they pass.
Cool.
As far as the skates are concerned, they're always the same, right? They're the 4 wheels.
Yeah, they have to be the quad skates.
Quad skates,
yeah.
Okay. I wonder what that would be like if it was rollerblades. I don't know if it'd be faster.
I don't know. Like refs are allowed to wear inline skates, and there's one ref at Champs that really, I would say, skates aggressively, almost offensively with his rollerblades.
Nice.
Yeah, so all the ladies out there who participate in roller derby, keep on keeping on. We know it's a tough sport, but it's a great sport. So.
Well, thank you for some of those facts. The rollerblading made me think of a scene in Career Opportunities. Speak of which is behind Ken right now, a Laserdisc.
Another Career Opportunities reference.
I should just make this podcast as many Career Opportunities references as I can make.
But yeah, to our listeners, be sure to check out a roller derby event near you. Mm-hmm. It's a cool sport.
All right, well, after the swing round, it looks like Team Tofurkeys, we gained 40 points, bringing us to 90. What about you guys?
Gained 45 and up to 105.
All right, still tight game.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Okay, so we'll take it to round 2. Now, the first 5 questions here, I have to give a shout out. They were actually written by a listener and my trivia writing partner, Kezia Sontag.
Oh, thank you very much,
thank
Kezia.
you.
We met her at Geekball, did we not?
I believe we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's the one with the bright red hair.
That's right. The attorney?
Yep, that's her.
Shout out.
Good memory. Well, yeah, shout out. Thank you very much for the questions.
Round 2, question 1. Somewhat recent events is the category. What is the name of the founding member of Eagles of Death Metal who was not present at the band's 2015 Paris gig that ended in a horrific terrorist attack? Like one of the founding members, I should clarify.
Yeah, we are not going to have an answer to this question. I will say Steve Miller.
So I remember watching a documentary after the shooting with the band. They talked about the experience and other people who were there. And I can't...
I think the one guy's name is Jesse, the guy with the mustache.
Yeah,
Jesse something, but
he was there. He was there. You know who I don't think was there is the dude from Queens of the Stone Age. He's in that band, I think.
Is he?
I don't know why I'm thinking that.
Or Dave Grohl, maybe? Dave Grohl's in Queens.
He's in Queens.
Is Dave Grohl a founding member of Eagles?
I don't know. That's a good question. He might be. He's in a lot of bands. I don't know. I thought it was a dude from Queens of the Stone Age, but Josh something. I can't.
Josh Homme.
Josh Homme. I don't know if he was. I feel like he was there though, because I think in the video,
if he's a founding member, he was not there.
He wasn't. That's the lead singer, right, of Queens of Stone Age?
Yes.
Okay, that's the best thing I'm going to come up with.
All right, Josh Homme.
Yeah, so it is Josh Homme. So I looked it up. That's what it said it was, but Homie. All right, question number 2. Categories. Mom, will you write me a story? What willful children's character was introduced to the world in 1945 by Astrid Lindgren?
I know it. Reluctant.
Willful. What do you think that can mean?
Is that the train? I think I can. It has will.
Mm-hmm. It does think it can.
Is that the sentient train who thought he could kill all humans?
That's Thomas the train. Thomas the tank engine. Man. Maybe this is some kind of Peter Rabbit, Peter Cottontail.
Man, I don't know. Maybe.
Little Orphan Annie. Matilda. Stop me. What if I'm going to say other things? Madeline.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Madeline.
I could be a little off here. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure on my trip to Sweden, there was a children's museum about Astrid Lindgren, and she did Pippi Longstocking.
She did. She wrote it for her daughter who requested a get well story. Pippi Longstocking, or as her full name is Pippi Lotta Delicatessa Windowshade Mackermint Ephraim's daughter Longstocking.
Wow.
That's a bit of information from Ryan Clough-Myers again.
Means her dad had a really long name.
Yeah. She grew up to be the Wendy's girl, right? Is that okay?
Because the naming convention daughter just means daughter of, so the rest would be her father's name.
Thank you, Jeff.
So our favorite American Idol contestant was Chris, daughter of? Did you say Daughtry?
No.
Oh.
Daughter. In Icelandic, I think is it Dottir?
Daughter.
I think you're right. All right, question number 3. If he was the king, what singer and actress was marketed as the female Elvis Presley? She recorded a version of Heartbreak Hotel, starred in the movie version of Bye Bye Birdie, which was inspired by Elvis's draft, U.S. Army draft, and later starred opposite Elvis in Viva Las Vegas.
On a complete and total guess, and we don't have to say our answer out loud, but I don't think it's right, so we're going to say Dolly Parton.
I was thinking about Dolly Parton. Neal said, nuh-uh.
Yeah,
I don't think she was in Bye Bye Birdie. I said on a previous show that, when I played in the pit for that show, that I hated the song We Love You, Conrad, because it got in my ear, and I just don't remember her being in the movie.
She wasn't in your high school production of Bye Bye Birdie.
She was not. Luckily, we didn't do it. I helped out and did it
She
for
auditioned.
a community theater. Oh, man, this is...
You said that you kind of had an idea of who it was. Can you describe that person?
Well, first I was like, I don't know why I was thinking of Annette Funicello, but she's in Beach Blanket Bingo and other movies like that. I don't think she's in Viva Las Vegas. I can see her face. I can't think of her name.
Let's just lock in with Dolly Parton.
That's
since
fine.
We don't have anything better.
All right.
So unfortunately, this one, it is notorious mononymous redhead Anne Margaret.
Oh, Anne Margaret. Yes, that's right.
Dang.
She was in Grumpy Old Man. I'm a very famous actress. And yeah, that was my bad. Sorry.
Yeah, and in the Bye Bye Birdie movie, she's the one that sings rather off key, which made me surprised to learn that she also was a renowned singer. All right, question number 4. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. After his violent death on February 21st, 1965, at the age of 39, what historical figure was survived by his wife, Betty Shabazz, and their 6 children?
I don't know people's personal lives that well.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like I'll know some.
Yeah, I know that he had multiple children.
And he converted to Islam, so I don't know if I'm just totally hearing the name wrong or whatever.
Yeah, we can lock in with Malcolm X.
Yep, I'm pretty sure it's Malcolm X, and I think that's his quote: "A man who believes in nothing will fall for anything, or stands for nothing will fall for anything."
Absolutely, the title was a better-known quote by Malcolm X.
Nice job.
All right, moving to question number 5. People on lewds should not drive. What is the first name of the character in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, known primarily by his last name, Spicoli?
I mean, despite laughing about Judge Reinhold on your last episode, I've never seen the movie.
Oh,
so
man.
I'm gonna lean on you for that one.
I also have never seen it, but this name sounds familiar, and that's the first name I always put with it.
Okay.
So we can lock in because we're not gonna be able to discuss it because you don't know anything about it.
I have not seen the film.
Yep.
We locked in with a name that's very familiar to all of us, and that would be Jeff.
Oh. Well, I thought it was Arthur for some reason.
Alas, it is the familiar name of Jeff.
When in doubt, go Jeff.
Is it Jeffrey Spicoli?
Oh my God. Why do you do this to me?
Jeffrey Culver Spicoli?
Oh, so much this is getting cut. This is going to be a 15-minute episode.
It's usually why do you make me try and redact things?
All right, well, who's here? Someone just, Mr. Hand just handed us the score update. It looks like Team Tofurkey's gained an extra 40 points, putting us at 130 currently. And what about you guys?
This round has not been as kind to us. We've added 10 points and we're up to 115.
Okay, question number 6. This is to market to market. Wild, arboreal, and jasmine are all varieties of what common food item?
We're locked in.
Rice, right? Jasmine rice, wild rice, and
that makes sense.
The other one I just assume is also a rice.
Arboreal, I think, means tree, but
then it could it be a tea? Because there's jasmine tea. I don't know if wild tea would be.
If it's rice, though, she forgot to mention Tim Rice.
And Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
So much rice.
Condoleezza.
Who is going to be the head coach of the Cleveland Browns?
I saw
that. I like that John Dorsey gave a very nice long response.
Well, I think she should have to work her way from defensive coordinator first. And anyway, we are locking in with rice.
We thought Matt was going to go with the wild thornberries, but we went with rice as well.
Nigel and Eliza?
Yeah, so wild rice is primarily grown in North America. Arboreal rice is what you use in risotto, and jasmine is that fragrant kind of Thai long rice. So the answer, rice.
That's my favorite kind.
Yeah, it's good rice. I gave it up, though. I'm on the keto.
The keto?
Uh-huh. No rice for me.
You're on the keto Kalen diet?
Yeah. It's going well. Better than that joke.
The keto Kalen diet has become a celebrity just for a tiny bit of time and then just quickly fall into a depression.
There you go. The coffee's kicking in. Good job.
Yeah.
All right, question number 7. This category is footballs in space. The galaxy Cosmo Redshift 7 is one of the oldest and most distant galaxies we know of. Its name was inspired by what well-known jock?
Yeah, if it's really distant, probably maybe even
might be gone.
10? Oh, yeah, that's so crazy, isn't it? Probably is. Oh, I got chills.
Let me just break up your existential ennui with existential terror.
Speaking of existential terror, if you're on Twitter, you should follow the nihilist Arby's account. It's the funniest thing ever.
That's Brendan Kelly from the Lawrence Arms.
Is it
who
really?
runs that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I got to tell people at work. We all love it because we'll like log in and we're like, "Do you see what nihilist Arby said today?"
I'm pretty sure it's Brendan Kelly.
That's funny.
Shout out to the Lawrence Arms.
I
Battle
love
of the Bands, number 2.
At University of Iowa, I saw Lawrence Arms in a small club, and it was during the Chicago Cubs run back in 2003 with the Bartman scandal. And in between, like every song, they would stop, and he would go, "Oh, I have a stomachache from Taco Bell, but what's the score of the Cubs game?" Like every song. So there's like 20 songs. Every time, what's the score?
So it's that.
I love them.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of teams that had red jerseys.
Did you guys lock in?
Yeah, you know what? We'll lock in.
All right, so Neal's locking in with Red Grange.
So do you... I think redshift has to do with like the red shifting that happens when we observe it, because the light stretches out as the space moves away from us.
So you think the Cosmo and 7 is the bigger? I think what we're looking for is a famous number 7, and I would think
who's called Cosmo.
Maybe, but I think it has something to do with somebody in the 20s and 30s and they're number 7 and they're famous, which would be Mickey Mantle. Wasn't he 7?
Could
or
be.
Is it DiMaggio?
Was he wearing red? I mean, they're just playing for the Yankees, right?
Yeah, but I mean, let's go with a famous red.
I was thinking it was a famous Cosmo.
Let's go with a old famous red, Johnny Bench, and we're locking with Johnny Bench.
Well, if Matt made a joke about our answer, it's probably wrong. But the category was football in space, not baseball. But I was between Johnny Unitas and Red Granger, and we just went with Red Granger for the name.
All right, so a little trickier with my footballs because it wasn't the football you were thinking of. This player normally goes by CR7, which is also what the Galaxy goes by. It's Cristiano Ronaldo.
Didn't even think about him.
He does wear the number 7.
He does. We were both tricked.
I wrote down, when do you think this was named? And Jeff wrote 1922 present. So he was
narrows it down a little bit.
He's not wrong.
He was actually correct, yes. He was closer than any of us.
Narrows it down to the time that we could actually observe those sorts of...
It cuts about 35 years off of football.
That's a great question. I did not even think of Ronaldo.
Competitively.
At least I was thinking 7s, and then I picked the person whose number wasn't.
Could have been
7.
Beckham, too.
Yeah.
All right, question number 8, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What is the only inducted band to see all 3 of its members also be inducted with other bands?
This band, can't remember how many members they had, but one of them went on to do this, and one of them went on to do this, and the third guy could also be famous.
So let's do.
You know what? I think it's this.
Okay.
We're locked in.
We're locked in.
Yeah. So I got confused for a second because I believe the one fact I was trying to come up with is I think Eric Clapton was accepted in 3 separate. It was Cream himself and then one other thing. But I don't think it wouldn't be that. So I don't know who else was in Cream, but I was just trying to think of famous power trios. And
what about Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
I was thinking about...
They were joined by Young and Neal and Jeff and Matt and Ken.
Yes.
I like it.
And I'm trying to think, what other bands they would have been in.
My suggestion is Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but if you would like to deviate, feel free.
I'll keep my septum the same way. So we're going to go with Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
That one was really tough for us. Matt wrote down Crosby, Stills, Nash right away, and I like that, but a lot of their other stuff was famous solo work. Stephen Stills was in another band that was famous and could have gotten in, I think. I can't remember. I don't know if they count Crosby, Stills, or Graham Nash, David Crosby's group as a band. But we did go back to Clapton, and we went with the Yardbirds.
Okay, so this was one of the first super groups. It was made up of people from the Byrds, Buffalo Springfield, and the Hollies. It is Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Should have stuck with our original answer.
We should have.
Dang.
Okay, moving on. Question number 9. Let's get biblical. Although most biblical scholars agree that no books of the Bible were actually authored by women, there are a few books that are named after women. Of these, which appears first in the Bible?
So we're going to lock in with a guess.
The first 2 that I thought of were Esther and Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember some more of them.
What is Ruth about? What is that?
I feel like that one's an earlier one.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be pretty good at these because there's a couple in the Old Testament. It's Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, and then I start to fall off pretty quick.
Let's call our shot and go Ruth there.
All right.
I knew Esther because I knew someone named Esther, and she was named after the book, but we just said Mary, thinking it was from Mary's point of view of her relationship with Jesus.
Okay, so there's the 2 books that are named after women are Esther and Ruth comes first.
All right, Jeff.
So most of the Jesus story is told by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, basically 4 times from their different perspectives.
And then again from Neal, Jeff, Ken, and Matt.
And then the final
Matt
Crosby,
again.
Stills,
There's 2
and
Matts.
Nash. 2 Matts.
Okay, question number 10. Category is pack your bags. According to TripAdvisor.com, the top 3 things to do in this country are, number 1, the World Heritage Site of Petra, number 2, the Roman ruins at Jerash, and number 3, to swim in the Dead Sea. Name the country.
I got it.
Is the country in the Basketball Hall of Fame, or
this one?
I know Ken knows it because he made a joke about Jordan, and we went with Jordan.
Jordan is indeed correct.
For the record, I was going to say Jordan because that is the site where Indiana Jones' Last Crusade ends.
Oh.
Petra?
Yep, it's Petra, yeah.
And I wrote Turkey because I'm still hungry. And I was wrong.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right. Well, it looks like after regulation, Team Tofurkeys is going to end with 160 points. And Team Tortoise and No Hair?
145.
Okay, so you gained some ground there.
Yeah.
So 160 to 145. So what do you have in store for us with the final round here, Stacey?
Okay, so Category 1 will be the changing face of late night. Number 2 will be barley plus hops plus water. Number 3, where am I from again? Number 4, hail to the chief. And number 5, and this is where it all comes together.
All right.
All right, Neal, let's put our heads together and think of some wagers and try to reel in this marlin. Okay, looks like all the wagers are in, so we're ready to hear those questions.
All right, question number 1, the changing face of late night. While the current host of Late Night is Seth Meyers, who was the original or first host of the program? Number 2, barley plus hops plus water. What German brand of beer accounts for only 8% of the beer consumed domestically in Germany, but accounts for 85% of all German beer exports to the U.S.? It features a key to the city of Bremen on its logo. Question number 3, where am I from again? My current home, Regina, Saskatchewan, is one of 2 Canadian capitals named for which monarch? Question number 4, hail to the chief. Which U.S. president was the first to only serve 1 term? And question number 5, and this is where it all comes together. I like doing this in my games at home, so hope you guys have some fun with it too. Excluding the swing round, every answer today is connected. There are 5 groups of 4 to 5 answers. Each round is split in half, and then the previous 4 questions of the final make up the last group. First, you'll need to figure out the theme for each of the 5 groups. Once done, then those 5 themes are further connected, and you will need to tell me the overarching theme for the game. I'll let you know that the connection is broad and well known and shouldn't require specialized knowledge. The connection does not necessarily relate to the answer in the context of the question, and some of the connections can use only part of the answer. So group 1 is gunpowder, Einstein and Copernicus, Boomer Esiason, Hugo Boss, and Dingo. Group 2 is the ring cycle, Seesaw, Carrie Underwood, Get Out of Jail Free Card from Monopoly, and Insidious. Group 3 is Josh Homme, Pippi Longstocking, and Margaret, Malcolm X, and Jeff. And Group 4 is Rice, Cristiano Ronaldo, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Ruth, and Jordan. And then the last one will be the 4 answers that you have to come up with.
All right, so all the answers are in. Stacey, why don't you take it away?
Okay, so for question number 1, the changing face of Late Night. While the current host of Late Night is Seth Meyers, who was the original or first host of the program?
Yeah, we wagered 30 on this one. I'm a big fan of Late Night, and I do remember before he went to CBS, he had a rift with NBC because he was the host of Late Night, and they did not give him the Tonight Show. We went with David Letterman.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I talked about Letterman. We got confused between the ABC, CBS. We weren't sure the lineage of the show. Talked about Conan, went one back and said Kilborn. We wagered 20 and locked in with Craig Kilborn.
So the answer is David Letterman. He, was from the Rift, and he's both the original host of The Late Show as well as Late Night. All right, question number 2, barley plus hops plus water. What German brand of beer accounts for only 8% of the beer consumed domestically in Germany, but accounts for 85% of all German beer exports to the U.S.? It features a key to the city of Bremen on its logo.
All right, we wagered 0 on this one, thinking we wouldn't know a beer question, but I think the most popular brand of German beer is Beck's.
Yeah, we wagered 10 on this one. We were trying to remember if Heineken was German, and the Beck's one we went back and forth. We were pretty sure there was a lock on there, so we assumed there was probably also a key, so we said Beck's.
Yep, so it's primarily brewed in Bremen. It is Beck's. Question number 3, where am I from again? My current home, Regina, Saskatchewan, is one of 2 Canadian capitals named for which monarch?
Again with the 0 due to the geography question, but I think this was Queen Victoria.
We wagered 15 on this one. Jeff had mentioned Victoria. We kind of talked about some other capitals. Came around to Edmonton, Alberta, and thought maybe it's for King Edmund.
So Regina, or Regina in Latin as it should be pronounced, is Latin for queen. So it is actually named for Queen Victoria, which is the capital of BC.
I couldn't remember what the translation on that was. If it was regent or queen or what, so that would have helped. But
that would have helped, yes.
It would have helped.
That is true.
Okay, question number 4. Hail to the chief. Which U.S. president was the first to only serve one term?
All right, we wagered 10 on this one. I thought it was one of the two Adamses. I ran some years in my head and went with John Quincy Adams.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, it was pretty sure. We wagered 10. And in thinking about it, we were pretty sure it was an Adams. I know Quincy did only one, but we think it's President number 2, John Adams.
Indeed, it is your second president, John Adams.
Oh,
sweet.
Good job, Jeff.
Thank you.
Up.
Wrong Adams.
I mean, I wrote them all down once by year just to try and figure out elections and stuff like that. And I just kind of remembered he was one term.
Cool.
All right.
It's going to be a close one.
All right, in question number 5, I won't read the whole question, but this is where it all comes together. You need to tell me what the overarching theme for the game was.
So we wagered 5 on this one. We quickly figured out the Jordan, Ruth, Crosby, Ronaldo, and Rice were sports players. The second half of round 1 were different horror movies with The Ring, Carrie, etc. Really had no clue on the first half of round 1 or the first half of round 3, so thought maybe it was sports, movies, and then came with science is for the gunpowder, boomer, etc., and then maybe history or for something for round 2. So we just said Trivial Pursuit pieces.
All right. Well, Stacey, I want to stop right now and thank you very much for this great category at the end here. Neal, you want to go over our reasoning?
Yeah, you're too much, Ken, with those jokes. So for this category, we were super, super happy that
20-point wager.
20-point wager because 2 of us became 1. And
oh my God, this is not what I think it is.
So
I'm denying.
So anyway, so we went through all these categories and we're like, okay, you have athletes, you have horror movies, Josh Home, Pippi Longstocking, and Margaret, very famous redheads.
Just tell me what
and then,
I really want.
Boss Baby.
Of course, Jeff's beard.
Jeff's beard, Baby Boomer, and knowing Stacey loves the show, and I'm assuming knows our mutual double crushes of both David Bex and Victoria Adams, we picked Spice Girls.
Yeah, you guys got it exactly. So it's Baby Powder, Baby Einstein, Baby Boomer, Boss Baby, and Dingo Ate My Baby, which you guys actually mentioned. Actually, a lot of these you mentioned throughout the thing, which was funny. So yeah, it was Baby, Scary, Ginger, Sporty, and Posh for the Spice Girls.
So proud of that.
At first, I was a little nervous. That round had me feeling a little vulnerable, a little naked, perhaps.
I'm so depressed I no longer want to Viva Forever.
Yeah, you just need to spice up your life. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't have a Spice Girls quote.
That was such a great last round because we were thinking about it. We said Bex, and then I was like, David Bex. And then Ken's like, well, what if it's Queen Victoria? And I was like, oh, well, Victoria. And we were trying to think of the last name. It was Victoria Adams. And it was great. All right, after regulation, it looks like Team Tortoise and No Hair is going to end with 125 points. And the team of Tofurkeys want to be cream of the crop today. So we're going to be cream of the crop with 200 points.
Wow.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Oh, nice job.
Good job.
Great job, guys. That was a wonderfully written game, Stacey.
Glad you enjoyed it. I was a little bit worried about the theme round being not maybe good for podcasts, but...
No, it was a lot of fun. I was going to say that me and Neal were kind of alley-ooping each other all night, but since you're from Canada, I'm going to say that Neal was scoring the goals and I was giving him the assist.
Set him up with the one-timer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Hockey reference.
Well, I'm going to cry about it and call my mama. I was seeing how many more I could do. Yeah. I did 3 that are pretty off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you went deep. You did.
With Denying and Viva Forever, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since this is coming out around of the new year, I'm just excited that the Spice Girls are going to be on tour, and I'm going to go for sure. So it's up to you guys.
Posh.
We should go.
Wait, Posh isn't going to be there?
No Posh.
Fine.
I'm out.
Is Ginger back?
No Posh.
Ginger's back. No Posh.
That
I'm
is
in.
not a fair trade.
I guess I'll have to see it though, just because I need to see them live. But
Yeah.
I'm going to miss Posh, but that's
Off
okay.
your bucket list.
And in Posh's place will be Josh Homme.
It's a very different sound, but
Can't have 2 redheads. It doesn't work.
Well, yeah, thank you very much, Stacey, and thank you for being a Patreon member, supporter of ours at the United States champion level, but we're calling it the Canadian champion level for you.
Well, thank you. No, and thanks to people, I had a few people that play tested the game, and that was very helpful. So David and Ryan and Kezia for helping me write the third part.
Yes, thank you to everyone.
All parties involved. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to Stacey for being an excellent host. I'm going to try and wrap it up before I get a little too sour for missing that Spice Girls one. But on behalf of Ken, Matt, Neal, and myself,
The Spice Boys,
that was Triviality.
I don't think of those as... What is that noise?
There's a siren just firing up.
Oh, that was terrifying.
That was weird.
I thought that the Kremlin had attacked.
It does sound like an air raid siren, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, it winds up and down like that.
And she's very, very patient. But at the end of it, I said, "How did I do?" And she goes, "Well." She should have said "Comme ci, comme ça." She said, "Well, your French isn't very good, but you're very nice, so thank you." And then that was it. It left. So I'm going to cut that story.
I was going to say it almost got somewhere.
Yeah.
So
while I was telling it, I forgot some details, and then it wouldn't have been funny. So yeah, we're going to cut that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make one up next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Usually they're cut for time, but this one is cut for content.
Yes.
The year was 1945.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We can move on. Question 7.